28 states, 28 capitals, entire India. Solo trip in a bike.
Different perspectives of India. My bike, my road, my freedom. If you are going like another biker, then what is the difference between you and somebody else? So having more adventures to my trip. I just banged the door of this particular person's home saying that I want to stay in your house.
The motivation behind this.
My dad, in 65 days there was a transformation. You are enjoying that breeze that hits your chest and the
your face,
that is different.
You're alone in that bike, but definitely you have faces so many challenges going alone.
Of course, if you don't take a risk in your job or maybe in anything, you'll not enjoy that particular thing.
India is so much diverse in culture, right?
I got an opportunity to stay with more than 65 families. They created a beautiful memory in my life.
Unplanned things are much better than planned things.
Exactly.
I think you created a bond there.
A strong misconception that Hindi chalta hai.
There are people, if there's good, there's bad also. Have you ever experienced?
My bike had slipped. I had to throttle because I don't have an option. It's a journey of 65 days I had to continue with. I was like, no, I will not backstep.
Your checklist before going to this solo trip?
I had no plans in my mind other than 65 days.
They do show the other side also.
I will not be able to do it again. Temperature was almost 20 plus. Love to take a risk.
They will be rude, they will be harm you, they'll try to harm you and all.
65 years, fell on my feet. आप शिवा है sir. आप मेरा बेटा जैसे दिखते हो. India is beautiful and people are so sweet. But the only thing is that you should know how to approach them.
Hi, hello, namaskar. You're watching KATV India with me, Varsha Venugopal, and today I'm back with another podcast episode. It's been a while since we have done a podcast, and today it's a bit special. It's very personal to me also because it's somebody I know since the time I have come to Bangalore, and when I was in college, he was my teacher, he was my faculty, and there today I'm sitting with him in the studio. I'm interviewing him for something which is really very special. So without any further ado, let's get started into this. I am introducing Sachin Soonthodu, an academician, a biker, and who is working in Garden City University. Welcome to KTV India, sir.
Thank you, KTV, and also in particular Miss Varsha and Garden City University for giving me this opportunity to be here today, sitting in front of you.
First of all, I'm so happy that I'm taking your interview, sir, because the first day I remember, because you were the person who was guiding the new students for the enrollment and all. I still remember the first day of our, that ice-breaking thing all over happening in the college. So I'm so excited that I'm taking your interview, and the reason behind is totally different. We never thought I would be taking an interview of you for the reason we are here today.
Yeah, seriously, for me, Varsha is someone who was sitting in a classroom and studying and doing something and capturing the videos and photos and taking some interviews by them. And today she has grown and sitting here. And for me also, it's an equal emotion.
But then, sir, I was so surprised because today's episode is literally a very different thing for my audience because sir has covered the entire India traveling solo trip in a bike. That is something crazy because that's so hectic. That's too much to do for somebody because in just one bike roaming around covering the whole India, 28 states, 28 capitals. In fact, those 6 country borders and 12 Jyotirlingas you have covered in this trip. So first of all, I want to know the motivation behind this, sir.
I can give you the reason behind it as in my dad, of course. Okay, so to tell about him that he had a small shop and he used to bring a lot of books. One of the books that inspired me a lot during my childhood was Panchatantra. Okay. And this book is talks about, in this particular book, you see a lot of stories happening, and all these stories have been narrated by the animals and the birds. Interestingly, in this particular book, all these characters speak, and the story happens in a place called Chitrakoot. Since then, I had a manifestation of like, okay, so I want to visit this particular place, which is basically in Chhattisgarh.
Yeah,
okay,
I
of course,
know.
you're saying that like, it is a place where you are brought up.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that like, so I got opportunity to visit that particular place. And that was the strongest intuition for me to, start with this particular trip. And along with that, my graduation and also the master's degree was on history, architecture, and also tourism in particular.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to see the different perspectives of India. Like every state is different, every culture is different, lifestyle is different, everything I wanted to understand and know. So that is how like, my intuition and interest of traveling is started. Particularly as in biking, you've been started.
Okay.
Yeah.
But why bike? Like, and it was a solo trip. So what made you ki I'll go akele and then in a bike? What was that thing behind?
See, it's a very difficult question to answer. Okay, so I do have a car, but then I don't love car much. The reason being like, so when you are sitting in a bike and you're riding at a speed of 70 or 80 kilometer per hour, like somewhere putting the, the earpods and like, you are enjoying that breeze that hits your chest and the
Your
face,
face,
that is different. That
You can't
cannot be
experience that in
explained.
Bangalore.
Exactly, of course, and that cannot be explained. Okay,
yeah,
so car cannot give you that luxury. Okay, that is one of the reasons that I want it. And second is the comfort that you get in bike. Okay, so even car cannot give that. Like you can drive and you can throttle anywhere you want. So that is
The
how it is.
people who usually
Yes.
struggles with Bangalore traffic would disagree with this.
Yeah, definitely.
Car is more comfortable
Yeah, so
for them.
but then for a longer trips, and a bike is always the best.
Yeah, okay. So how was that experience? Like, because you were alone, it was a solo trip for you. You're alone in that bike, but definitely you have faces so many challenges going alone and all. But before talking about that challenges, I really want to focus on that solo trip.
Okay.
What was your motivation to go? Chalo, मैं अकेले जाता हूँ. I'll just go experience. Was it a literally finding myself wala thing, or ye Jawani Hai Diwani has inspired you a lot?
See, there are two things work. Okay, the first one, as you said, like about my thing. Okay, so I wanted to explore myself. It's been almost 37 years.
Achha.
See, out of these 37 years, like 22 years ago in studies, all these steps, and could not able to explore. So you will not be able to explore yourselves. And after that, you get into a job and work environment, work pressure, all these do happen, and you will not be understanding what you are. That is one thing. Okay, and second is that craziness that you are having, right? So again, like if you go along with the friends, okay, what I have seen that you have to compromise a lot, which I cannot.
Achha.
Okay, I will not be able to. So I have taken a lot of even the group trips also, but you need to have lots of goods to compromise with people. So maybe in terms of like taking a route, or maybe deviations, and sometimes visiting a place or having food in a particular restaurant, all these will be like counted. But when you go as in a solo, so all this will not. It's like my bike, my road, my freedom. Okay, so that's how it works, and this has of course inspired me and understanding myself. See, as I said, for 37 years I could not able to understand myself, but in 65 days there was a transformation. Okay, I could able to see a lot of changes happened in me. So of course,
While exploring
Yes,
the
of course,
28
of course,
states,
yes.
you have explored yourself also.
Exactly,
Have you
100%.
picked up any new thing about you?
A lot. Okay, so see, when you are somewhere in sitting somewhere in that is Thiruvananthapuram, and so looking at the Anantapadmanabha temple, or maybe somewhere in Kasi or Varanasi, and you see like a lot of bodies have been burnt, and sitting somewhere in Jammu and Kashmir and see the snowfall. So there is a lot of differentiation, and you will wonder that world is like this. right? So that's how it is.
We were keep on checking your status actually while you were on the travel. We were keep on checking your Instagram and all, and we see every day the updates you used to give us. But let me ask you a very it would be a little biased if you answer it also, but it's okay. We want to know. We want to know which was your favorite place so far you have went in this 65 days trip.
Oh, it's very difficult to tell about the favorites, okay?
Yeah.
Because apart from biking, I am a trekker also. Okay, so I trekked a lot. You name any of the South Indian mountains, I can show a picture with that. I mean, I'm standing somewhere there. So 130 plus treks I did across India.
Achha.
And for me, if it comes to the trekking, Maharashtra is the best. Okay, no state can compete with Maharashtra. And coming to so my spiritual journey and also my interest, of course, Uttarakhand, Devbhoomi, and third, obviously, my own state. Okay, it's like one state, many worlds. You have everything other than snow. Okay, so these three states I love the most.
Okay. How is it, the whole experience of fooding, staying and all, sir? How was that?
Okay, so this is something the craziest thing that I did. So when I started, so thinking about my trip, it's a plan of more than 15 years, but then a rigorous plan of more than 1.5 years. Okay, and my boss and also my reporting officer, everybody were with me in my trip. And again, I just want to say that when you say about solo trip, it's not a solo. There are a lot of people involved in. Okay, so I'll tell about them later.
Yeah.
And my intention was okay, so let me go for a trip and come back. Okay, so what do you need? You need a bike. You have to fuel your bike and maybe some gears and accessories, cameras, all this to create a memory of life, because it happens once in a life. Something like that. So I was thinking about that, and my immediate reporting officer was telling me that he is also a biker, and he was asking me a question that Sachin, if you are going like another biker, then what is the difference between you and somebody else? Do something which is really, really, so passionating. So then came with the concept of unpaid accommodation. So my entire trip was not, in particular, my accommodation in my trip, so was not paid by anybody. It was just a free accommodation. The students of Garden City University, alumni of Garden City University, their parents, their cousins, and petrol bunks, dhaba, and police station, railway station. All these were the places where I put my tent and I stayed for 65 days. It was a fantastic experience to me. So I just wanted to, include or inculcate the habit of so having more adventures to my trip. Okay, so that's how it happened.
Panchtantra made you do all
obviously.
of that.
Yeah, true.
But then still, so why this unpaid accommodation thing only in your mind? Because as you said, there should be a different thing than the regular biker. But as in free accommodation thing came into your mind, don't you ever thought ki what if this people will make me ki nahi ho sakta, this, that and all?
See, I am the one who is always love to take a risk. Okay, if you ask me to take the elevator, I won't take it. I would love to take a walk. Okay, and that is something which inspired me a lot. That taking a risk, and of course, if you don't take a risk in your job or maybe in anything, you will not enjoy that particular thing. Okay, so you will get bored very soon. So I want to take a risk. That is the first thing, and second is I want to see the different the paces of the country. So I'm a person who is having a lot of luxury in my life and comfort, everything. But I also wanted to see what's happening in the other end, maybe other side of the table. Okay, so I wanted to see that. Okay, so if you go as in a normal tourist and you stay in a hotel, you will not understand or you will not be able to mingle with the common people. Okay, I tell you, I got an opportunity to stay with more than 65 families. They created a beautiful memory in my life. Okay, I have a frame of this 65 people with whom I obviously. Okay, so with whom I stayed, and sometimes I feel that will I get an opportunity to go back and visit them again? Or maybe like, so maybe after 5-10 years, if I go back with a similar trip, will they be able to meet me? That emotion. Okay? So
Yeah.
that is one of the so things that of course works in a life.
You have a contact with those?
Yeah, of course. Everybody have contacted.
Yeah. So like after coming back,
Yes,
you call
exactly.
and like you were like, thank you
Yes,
so much.
I think more than 25 to 30 people have sent a souvenir. And in fact, the New Year wishes. Okay, recently during Sankranti also, I was connecting some of them. And I love to, connect people. And in this entire trip, I could, able to meet more than 4,000 plus people. Okay, and more than 5,000 plus the general public. Okay, so all this I could able to accumulate in my life, which I did not do it for past 15 or 20 years.
Within the 65 days, you have explored that.
I did that.
Like India has so much diverse in culture, right? So many cultures are there, and you have gone through whole India. I think you have encountered so many cultures out there, and you have seen difference, or it's same, just the names are different.
No, it's a different. See,
These are
what, yeah, so what Karnataka is obviously different to Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra and all. And every state is unique in terms of its like, maybe a culture, lifestyle, the way they greet you, the hospitality, okay, and the food habits, cuisine, what we call, all this, it's different. Okay. And nowhere it is similar, obviously.
Nowhere.
Nowhere it is similar.
I think the food was the best part of this whole trip.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so I always wanted to even taste the local food, and every state I could able to have a local food. And sometimes it was like whenever I was connecting to the alumni or maybe my friend circle and all, tell them that like so I am coming to your state. They used to ask me like what kind of food you prefer. I would say whatever you prefer, prepare at home, just give it to me because I want to experience that kind of food,
That
lifestyle,
authentic.
authentic wala. Okay, and don't consider me as a special guest. I'm a part of your family. That's it. Okay, and that love I got from people. Yeah.
Which was that one dish? कि अभी भी याद है. You still remember the taste?
बहुत है. And I mean, in particular, what I had eaten or what the sweet that I had eaten Gujarat. Okay, so unforgettable. And the chicken in Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, and then Northeast is entirely different.
My mouth is
So if you want to experience the best of best non-veg, then you have to go to Northeast.
Okay, yeah. We experienced that. Our college canteen has one.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember that nostalgia.
But this has a mixture of Karnataka also.
Yeah.
But then that is authentic one.
One.
True.
Yeah, I must agree that. छोटा सा Northeast यहीं पे experience किया हमने.
Yeah.
But then sir, one thing always come to my mind is whenever we try to do something, apart from the people who are helping us, our friends, family would be there, ki mat kar, don't go. Why are you going alone? Take me also. Was there somebody?
Say, of course, this is a very difficult question to answer if you have the option of cutting. Okay.
We'll try.
So, yeah, okay. The thing is that like, so I'm someone who is... and I don't have a standby. Okay, so I don't have someone to guide me telling that, okay, so do this, do that, okay, don't do, and all these steps and all. And I have broken that barrier in particular. Okay, so that is the thing. And of course, I have a family, means like my brothers, sisters, and all, and they don't know what I do. Okay, and that is the best blessing that I am having. Okay, so sometimes what happens that like so I take a backpack, I go somewhere in Maharashtra or maybe somewhere in so northern part of India, and I come back and update my status, or maybe like so the videos or pictures on my social media. Then my brother or sister would call and ask me like oh, did you go to this place? That kind of person I am. Okay. So but there are a lot of well-wishers also, okay, whom are like my known circle. They say like so आपका सेफ्टी के बारे में कुछ ख्याल रख दो, and think about like people over their steps and all. But then I am the one who believes in a philosophy as like taking a risk. Another philosophy that like the death. Okay, I always love, and I tell my students also the same thing, that like, your death happens in what you love the most. Okay, that is the salvation. I believe in that. If I am somewhere in Maharashtra and sitting on the top of a mountain, and as in solo trekker, and I die there, that is salvation for me. Okay, I believe in that. So, yeah, of course, people are there, well-wishers are there, and they say a lot of things, and sometimes you accept it, and sometimes, this my way, and I go. That's it.
But sir, when you told me well-wishers were like mostly concerned about your safety and all.
Correct.
You must have faced so many challenges, no? Kabhi in a very sunsan road, you must have gone ki fuel khatam ho gaya. What will I do? Puncture ho gaya. Now what? What if there must be people who have come encountered you with some, maybe, because there are people, if there's good, there's bad also.
Correct.
So must be. Have you ever experienced?
A few things. I'm the one who doesn't highlight the negative things. Okay, always positive.
Yeah.
I was somewhere in Mizoram, and my bike had slipped. Okay, and I got hurt in my right leg, and I had to throttle because I don't have an option, because it's a journey of 65 days I had to continue with, and I have taken that responsibility of driving, and I cannot beg someone saying that, okay, so mujhe help karo, aise kuch nahi ho payega. Okay. So I was like, okay, fine, let me ride. Okay, and when I reached my next destination, okay, and I found a local person, a localite. And I just banged the door of this particular person's home, saying that I want to stay in your house. This is a beautiful thing I'm telling you. Okay, so if you're not getting accommodation in some places, I used to find a random house and bang the door at 7:30, 8 o'clock, saying that I want to stay in your house. And I was given opportunity to stay in their home. They have given me the space to stay in their home. Such beautiful the country is. Okay, so this happened, and this person, who is somewhere in 23 or 24, wife and 2 kids and a dad. Okay, and it's like a hut. It's not basically a beautiful home. And they were like, "Koi baat nahi, aap ek kaam kijiye, aap andar aaiye, you stay in my home." And I was like, अंदर नहीं आते हम, मेरे पास tent है, I have a tent and I will put tent outside and sleep. Like, no, you are my guest. I will not be allowing you to stay outside. आप अगर आपको रहना चाहिए तो आप अंदर आना ही पड़ेगा. Okay, these kind of people that you encounter. So I had this kind of experience. Bike broken, all this did not happen because it's a new bike. And when I was in Manipur in particular, okay, so because of the right that had broken out day before, I had to face a lot of people over there, in particular locals, and a lot of questions, and the border security force. Okay, so for every 10 to 15 kilometers, I had to stop my bike, and they were asking a lot of questions. I had to answer the questions, all these steps and all. And my destination was Murray, so that is the border between India and Burma. Okay, so since I have already decided that I'm visiting this, I was like, no, I will not backstep. Okay, I will visit that and come back. So yes, I experienced, but not to that core where people say that mera kuch chori ho gaya, mera bike chori ho gaya, bag chori ho gaya. No, nothing happened. Okay. I tell you, India is beautiful and people are so sweet. So sweet. But the only thing is that you should know how to approach them.
Acha, yes. Okay. It's all about the technique, how you approach them. Exactly. No, because most of the times we have seen in vlogs of this travel vloggers and all, where they do show the other side also, where people, when they encounter somebody, they'll be like, somewhat they'll be rude, they'll try to harm you and all. And nowadays it's been like a lot. Exactly. That's why that was the main thing I wanted to ask you, because there would be so many people out there who want to go for a solo trip, like as you are going. So they should be knowing the safety measures and all. Yeah. So what were your checklists before going to this solo trip?
See, I had no plans in my mind other than 65 days, to tell you frankly.
That was the only thing, yeah.
I had cameras. I had taken 3 cameras, including a drone, just because I wanted to create a memory, as I said, throughout my life. I'm sure I'm going another trip, but may not be an India trip, maybe some other trips. Okay. So, but then I want this to be memorable. And in addition to that, 12 Jyotirlingas. I'm sure that I will not be able to do it again, as in one, stretch.
Yeah, okay.
So that's why I took cameras, and riding gear is, of course, it's mandatory. And other than that, I'm not a pro medicine person. I never take a medicines and all because I have a very good immune system.
Okay.
And the clothing is very important. So what happens, when you are going for these kind of trips and all, particularly solo trips, you cannot carry so much of luggage in your bike. Okay, so what I did was like I bought the polyester kind of the shirts around 15 to 20. So that what happens when you are traveling, of course you don't get a time to wash your clothes and all. Even if you wash, you'll not dry it for a day and all. If you are having a polyester kind of the shirts or maybe even the trouser also, so you can dry it very fast. Maybe maximum 1 to 1.5 hours you can dry it.
Okay.
So these kind of things. And I knew that I'm going through various the climatic conditions also. Say when I was in Bangalore, it was when I was in Bangalore, it was 30 plus degrees Celsius, and I reached so Tamil Nadu. Temperature was almost 20 plus, but then it was continuously raining. Okay, so I had to have the the jackets also, wind cheater or maybe a rain jacket. Kashmir, it was minus 3 or 4 degrees Celsius. I had to have a sleeping bag.
Okay.
So the basic things that I had when I started my trip was obviously the gears, the cameras and the clothing, what I want to wear, and the sweaters, 3 to 4, good one. And then the tent. Okay, of course, I had taken a call of not to stay in a hotel. So, of course, everywhere tent. And I also had a sleeping bag. Okay, so sometimes temperature is too low or drops down, had to go inside the sleeping bag and sleeping bags. So these are the things that I carried along with me.
When you said 12 Jyotirlingas in one stretch, we need to know that. That experience in one stretch.
I tell you beautiful stories, okay? There are 2 stories that happened, okay? I was somewhere in... so I completed 11 Jyotirlingas. I was somewhere in the last Jyotirlinga, Bhima Shankar. And I was getting, whenever I was traveling to a Jyotirlinga, I mean, just getting into the temple, I used to wear my the gear, okay, in particular jacket. So I was wearing my jacket, and there were 5 to 6 boys were standing behind me, and they were somewhere in 25 and all. And there were another family which was standing in front of me, and a family with husband, wife and son. And I mean the elderly person was somewhere in 65, something like that. And this boy started talking to me, seeing my, the attire. And they asked me questions about my trips and all. And then they got to know that I'm a rider. And the person who was in front of me, who was in 65, was listening to the conversation between me and these guys. And after some time, he turned back and asked me that so where are you from? I said, I'm from Bangalore. So, आप trip कर रहे हैं? मैंने बोला ठीक, हाँ, trip कर रहे हैं. So, कहाँ गए आपने? I said, पूरा इंडिया घूमा मैंने, and I did 12 Jyotirlinga. This is 12 Jyotirlinga I am doing. And this person who is 65 years fell on my feet.
My God.
Right in front of thousands of people standing there in a queue. I was I could not able to respond immediately, right? What's been happening? आप क्या कर रहे हो? He was like, आप शिवा है sir. मैंने बोला क्यों? He was like, people will not get the opportunity to visit 12 Jyotirlingas at a time. In one trip, one single trip. And you did that. You look like a Shiva to me. Okay, a similar incident happened in Parvani. I mean, it's in Maharashtra. I just parked my bike and having a tea and a group of around 15 to 20 people. This is something very interesting. Okay, wherever I stop my bike, people come and they start talking to me. Sometimes I was getting irritated also, but you cannot show the irritation, right? You're a biker.
Yeah, you're a biker.
Yeah, of course. And then 10 to 15 guys had come and they started talking to me, and they were asking about the trip and all. There was one guy who was around 25 to 26. Look at the mentality of Indian people also. Though you are very young, you have the inner sense of God, goddess, all these feelings always there. And this guy, I was holding cup of tea and sipping, and he asked me all the questions. Finally, he got to know that I have visited the 12 Jyotirlingas, and this guy also fell on my feet, saying that, "Sir, aap Shiva jaise hai, sir." Seriously, this has happened.
No, but like, of course, that's a great thing. In
Exactly.
just one stretch, all the 12 Jyotirlingas you have visited. Like, before starting, like, ki sab cover karte time, you had this thing ki
Yes,
have
yes,
to
yes.
cover?
Yeah, so of course I planned this. 12 Jyotirlings have been planned. And so 6 months I had a meticulous plan on my travel distances in particular.
Okay.
So you can't even believe I drew India for more than 100 times. Okay, so first I started drawing India, and then started drawing the states. Okay, so if you see my like notebook, if you see my diary, everywhere you see India, states, and states. Okay, and then I started drawing like I started connecting the lines. Okay, I never used the Google Map. In initial days I'm talking about. Okay, but during my trip I used it. Okay, so after that, what happened that I started to calculate the distances. So what I did was say for example, if I travel from Bangalore, first day Bangalore to my destination was Sakleshpur. Okay, and I was looking at Google Map for 5 to 6 days continuously to know about the distance plus also travel hours, because it varies, right? So morning the traffic would be very high, and evening traffic will be less. Because of this meticulous plan on the the distance and distance calculation, I could able to make my trip successfully. The reason being, so if you think that if you go to northeast part of India, okay, and you plan of driving for 7 to 8 hours, it is not going to happen.
Okay.
In the mainland of India, pan India, it's possible because it's a plain land, roads are good. Okay, and normally by 6:45, 7 o'clock, so you will get a daylight, and evening by 5:30, 6. Okay, after that it's dawn. Okay, in between you have lots of time. But if you go to northeast India, so by 3:30, it's dusk.
Okay.
Okay, so after that, its driving is very difficult. That's one thing. And if you think that then let me start in the early morning. It's too cold. Okay, you will not be able to do it. So northeast part was very, very challenging to me. Okay, so what I did was while calculating the distance and also the graphing my entire trip for Northeast India, I calculated a distance of 150 kilometers, not beyond that. Okay, so started around 10:30, 3 o'clock, you close. That's it, pack up. Your work is over. That's it. That's how I could able to do it. And exact 65 days, I closed my trip.
Listening to you feels like unplanned things are much better than planned things.
Exactly.
I think this one thing also, it was there in your mind, no?
Yeah.
Ki we'll just plan ki kahan jana hai, and we'll just go. Wahan dekha jayega. That was the thing, no?
It's always good thing. Okay.
So that unplanned thing, you have met so many people over there. As you said, this experience ki aake sir aap Shiva hai. So language is a great thing, I believe, because we have so many different states. 28 states are there, and people there are diverse people. So many people are there. Some people just know their local language and all. So was it a problem to communicate with the localites sometimes?
Yeah, many times. See, we have a conception, a strong misconception that Hindi chalta hai. नहीं नहीं चलेगा,
हर जगह नहीं चलता,
नहीं चलेगा. आप तमिलनाडु जाओ, सो हिंदी नहीं चलेगा. केरला तो थोड़ा somehow they manage. But I had a strong feeling that you go to any part of India, Hindi chalega, nahi chalega. Northeast is definitely will put you on toss.
Okay.
We think that Northeast is somewhere you can speak Hindi and you can survive. They have their own languages. Okay, see, if you go to a place say the capital of Assam, that is Guwahati, Hindi is okay because it's a gateway. Okay, everybody travels to Guwahati. From there, for all other 6 other sister states, they travel to. Okay, that is how Hindi is okay for them. From there, if you move towards down south, let me say Meghalaya and Mizoram and Manipur, these states, no. Okay, hardly few people talk Hindi, and English is okay. English is okay for them. So I say that like of course language is not a barrier for a traveler like me, because a risk taker. Okay, so you're okay with any kind of languages, at least sign language. Okay, but then if you are someone who think from the perspective of culture, lifestyle, people, then language is of course a barrier. Okay, so Hindi will not work out anywhere, and then you have to use sign language.
You said there are like so many good moments were there. You involved with the localite, with their happiness, stuff and like that.
Okay.
Was there any point when you see a localite or you interacted with them and they sat and started sharing their sorrows or something, or you have seen them grieving, so you joined them and you created a bond there, something like that happened?
I think this podcast is only for 30 to 45 minutes. Okay. If you ask that question, I can make it for 45 days.
You can make a series then. 65 days.
Exactly. See, I got to visit people of different perspectives, different culture, lifestyle. Somebody somewhere in Arunachal Pradesh, he is sharing me the story of his life, his children, okay, so his grandfather, his dad, all these stuffs. Trusting me that like, I'm someone who is a part of his family. How beautiful it is.
True.
Okay, you are sitting somewhere in, so Srinagar, and the guest says that, "Aap mera beta jaise dikhte ho." Okay, so, so I have a son, and you look like my son, and आप चिंता मत कर. So you whatever you want to ask, you ask. Okay, whatever I have, give you. Okay, so these kind of experiences. Since I stayed in different families, houses, like their family member, I can tell you hundreds of stories. Okay, of this particular emotional connect. Okay, so the people see once you emotionally connect to people, what happens? They open up.
Yeah.
Okay, they start telling you stories. Sometimes it becomes boring to you also, but then you have to listen to the stories.
Because they have given a space.
They have given a space to you, and you have to have an obligation on that.
But still, like they feel that connect, and they'll say their things, because people can share happiness without hesitation.
Yeah,
but sometimes people are so much hesitant to share their sorrows and like the grief they are going through. And if they are sharing it with you, I must say you have created that bond in between
Yes,
the
of course,
65 days,
yeah.
like in every other places. One more thing I was literally wondering about is कि when you listens to them, somewhat आप भी emotions में बहक के you be like, okay, let me also tell something. Have you done that?
Not much.
But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because you know that like you will be staying with for a short period of time. Okay. And having emotional bondage, or maybe like okay, so मुझे भी ऐसा हुआ, so it doesn't work out much here.
But like
Okay,
that bond,
because-
I guess, which like you are saying, those 65 families you have created that bond, you're still in touch with them.
Okay.
So definitely you have shared the things, they have shared a lot. And
True.
now I believe that those 65 families are your family also.
Yes,
like in
yes,
this
of course.
65 days of trip.
Of
So
course.
definitely कि बहन, भाई, पापा, मम्मी सब है वहाँ पे.
अभी भी मुझे कॉल आता है कि like कल भी मुझे एक कॉल आया बोल के like so my grandmother is asking that did Sachin reach Bangalore or what? Okay, so this girl was asking me a question, and there were like around 15 to 20 families, a good number. They were tracking me. They're like, where are you? What are you doing? How is your sotabias? Because I had a slip and I had a little pain over there,
Okay.
and all this. And I should I think acknowledge this that when I had a pain in my leg, okay, so at least 5 to 6 families had taken care of me like their family member. Okay, they have some local medicines and all, like turmeric, and they add in with what is that?
Some leaves,
some
jadi
leaves
booties,
and all,
yeah.
and they applied on my leg and all. Who's Sachin? Someone from Bangalore. Somebody who's sitting in Bihar and doing this to me. That too in his bedroom, I'm sitting and he's applying some medicine to my leg. You see, that is a beauty. That's India that you cannot see anywhere. I'm sure you cannot see anywhere.
I see a travel enthusiast sitting in front of me speaking a lot about he has went for a trip and all. But why an academician then?
That
I
was
really want to ask you,
by,
sir.
I think that is, again, it's a difficult question to answer. But then, yeah, it is by choice.
By
By
choice.
choice. You have
Because
to have something to live, right? So, of course.
there was a difference, no? Ki academician went for a trip, so there would be a difference in the lifestyle, the routine, and all.
Correct.
And then coming back again to the same routine, how difficult it was.
Yes. Okay. So first thing is that, like, you being a teacher, students have some mindset or, like, so perception about you. Okay, a teacher has to be like this, like that only. You should be
Strict.
always been formal,
Yeah.
and you should be strict,
Yeah.
and you cannot deviate. You cannot get into social media and dance something like that and all. Okay, all
But this
stuffs
is
and
for
all.
my KATV India audience. The Sachin sir I know is never a strict teacher. I
Yeah,
must be
yeah,
said.
of course. Okay. And breaking this barrier is not easy thing.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's already inculcated in our mind. Okay, that is
correct.
one thing. And even before, like, posting a video, even now I think, like, who are my audience, and how they will take my video, all these steps and all. Okay, so it is very difficult thing in particular. And but then, because of this particular thing, you cannot go away your whatever the inner
yeah.
things,
Yeah.
so-called the thirst of your life. Okay, so I was thinking, initially it was okay for me, being a teacher. Okay, and then I turned to be an adventure traveler. Okay, I traveled a lot, and a lot of videos I have not shared also. A lot of photos have not been shared also.
Okay.
Okay, so I still had that hesitant character of, like, what if. Okay, so people would say something, students would say something,
yeah.
all these stuffs and all. And once I started this travel, so everything went well initially. And while coming back, I had this feeling that, can I still be a teacher?
Oh, you have this thing in your
Yes,
mind.
of course, of
Okay.
course. Even now, so I still have that dilemma that, like, so of course I'm a teacher, and that's my primary profession. But then, what if I get an opportunity?
Go back again.
Yes.
I think
It's-
academician is going
yes,
back.
yes. Somewhere I have the feeling that, okay, so what I'm doing now, maybe as in a profession, is not what I meant for. Okay,
You
so
wanted to
maybe,
travel, yeah.
let's see.
I think that is what you have discovered in this whole solo
Exactly,
trip.
exactly. I discovered a different personality in me, and again, something different is waiting for me. Okay, so these kind of, the thoughts that are started coming in my mind. And during my last days of trip, maybe around after completing 55 days, and I was like, I cannot go back to college and teach like a teacher. I cannot go back and sit in my seat, because 50 to 55 days you have seen a different, personality in you.
And you had that freedom.
And you have
yeah.
transformed yourselves, and of course you had a freedom, and again you are going back and sitting back and going back to the
To
same
a
thing. It's
routine, a
difficult.
planned routine
It was
again,
difficult
yeah.
for me. It was very difficult for me for around 2 or maybe a month or something like that. Then you had no choice. You have to go with.
So which Sachin you like, the traveler or the academician?
No, traveler.
But when you come back to college, because I know GCU students, they must have come to you, Sachin sir, have you went to my place? Have you seen that? Have you seen that? They must have asked you, no?
There are a lot of questions, and while I was on my trip also, like, my students used to send me a message, call saying that मेरा घर राजगढ़ में है सर, आप जाइए ना, तो मेरे पापा है, पापा, so मेरा mama है. And since I also involved in admissions, so majority of the students are connected to me. They were tracking me, right? Of course, on my social media, they were like. When I was in Maharashtra, I think I got more than 15 to 20 invitations to go to their home. But every time you cannot.
Yeah.
They feel like, okay, next time let me try. Next time I'm coming, I'll do that.
So there were the next trip also there.
Yes, of course.
We must wait.
Yeah.
Sir, I, as a person, last time I seen a sunset was in class 5th.
Okay.
Trust me. And today, if I even think about seeing a sunrise or a sunset, I get emotional. I feel it's the most beautiful thing you can see, go and see.
Yes.
So that's my point. So there would be a view, a particular place, like if you come to Bangalore, abhi to blossom ka time hai, those cherry blossom and all. So there must be a particular view that made you feel ki, what if the time will stop here?
Kedarnath.
Kedarnath. And
One
what
is
was that view?
Kedarnath. Going there, sitting in front of that temple, temperature is like around -3 to 4 degrees Celsius, and there is a beautiful temple. Behind the temple, you have snow and the mountains and sunrise and sunset. It's amazing. I cannot explain in words. I cannot explain in words. So once in a life, irrespective of whichever religion you belong to, you have to go to Kedarnath, sit there for some time. It's an actual realization. Forget about God. Like, think about the place, think about the destination. It's beautiful. Second, my best among the best is Kashi or Varanasi.
Okay.
Okay.
Those were the places.
You have to visit all 64 ghats and sit somewhere in Manikarnika for 30 minutes. Your life will change. These two places I will never forget in my life. And I insist people to go there, these two places.
One more thing is there ki when people say about solo trip and traveling the entire India, finance is something which should be strong. And for those solo trip people, a financial advice must be there, no? Because as a person who never even thought or never even planned for a solo trip but wants, so this would be a beginner tip.
Okay.
What do you want to give?
I would like to say, and also bring in two people over here. Okay, so one is, of course, my chancellor. Okay, he is not a human; he is a god.
Yeah.
Okay, so my entire trip's responsibility was taken by sir. He was like, Sachin, you go and come back.
He always initiates for such different ideas because I've seen, of course, we have seen Sir so closely.
Yes.
And Sir has done so much for such unique ideas. I've seen that every time, like, because Garden City brings up with such unique ideas. That's why I wonder how come Sir supporting this much. Sir is like trying to match the pace of this Gen Z, I feel sometimes.
Sure. See, the first thing I want to say that, like, so of course, I'm sitting here, okay, so I don't have eligibility to talk about him, okay, because he is of such a great personality, okay, so philanthropist and educationist, everything. You name anything, everything, he is, okay. So, great respect, okay, I have on him. And when I approached him saying that, like, so I want to go for a 65 days, travel, he was like, yes, go and come back. Okay, and all the support, maybe my the gears that I was wearing and the finances, I mean whatever the expenses, everything was borne by the university, other than my bike. Okay, because bike was something I wanted to buy. So everything is the blessing of my chancellor. That is one thing, and I always call him as my chancellor because I'm like I'm so emotionally connected to him, and I'm of course
because he's that kind of a person. You can literally feel it's not. He never make you feel कि I'm a chancellor and you're a faculty or a student. Okay. He's like very much connected to people, and he always speaks like he doesn't have that thing कि I am somebody heading the whole institute. It feels like a friend. You're talking to a friend.
Being a owner of such a big institution, group of institutions. Okay, so who is telling someone like me to go for a trip and come back, and also sponsoring the entire trip?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is I could not able to take initially. Okay, and that is one thing. And second is like you're so caring, And he's a person, sir is a person who addresses, who calls everybody by name, even if it is a sweeper. Such a good memory he has. And, so in between my trips, he used to call, okay, and I used to send him a text message updating here and there. And he used to call saying that, Sachin, where are you? What you're doing? How is your trip? All the stuff and all. And sir, being into such a big position and being a owner of such a big institution and calling Sachin, who is none actually, okay, and telling all these things and all. Okay, so I throughout my life have an obligation on him, and that is one thing. And the second is like my immediate reporting officer. Also, I have to take his name also, Mr. Ajay. He is another supporting person to me to my trip. So the finances part, of course, entire thing was managed by Garden City University.
Okay.
And I was on a paid holiday, of course. I have to tell that. And the second thing is about the bike. Okay, so of course, if you want to be a biker, you have to buy a bike. You cannot rely on somebody to sponsor it.
Yeah.
So many people do have have the mindset that so you being a biker, you go for like there's financial support from somebody, all these stuff, and it doesn't work out. Okay, so the first thing is that so if you have a goal of biking, you buy a bike, and you cannot rely on somebody else. That is first thing. And second is all about the financial management. You should know how to manage it. Since I had someone who is supporting me, I could be able to do it. Okay,
but if it's you solely,
yes, if you want to do it as in a solo, then you have to think about alternative sources.
True.
Okay, so you start posting some particular content on the social media, get popularity, get more followers, and work on a financial model. It works also. A financial model, or else like find some promoters, or maybe so those who are wanting to sponsor your trip. Of course, that also happens. But then you have to define your the goal very. So what we call the particular goal of your trip, okay, or objective of trip, in particular, which will be helping or guiding you and the sponsor as well. Both you'll have to think about. Okay, then only they will sponsor. And sponsors, they will not shell out money for no reason. So they should also have some agenda behind that.
And confidence also, the person who is going. Listening to you, it was a beautiful 65 days journey we all went through once. You have taken us along. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for spending your time with KATV India, sharing your whole 65 days experience, the entire India. It's not a small thing. We are so happy, and it's a personal happiness for me because my professor, my faculty sitting in front of me, I'm asking his experience like this. I don't think so. If I was in Garden City, I could be this. Not exactly, but still we can't just sit for this 1 or 1.5 hours and ask you solely about your trip. So I'm very grateful. Thank you so much spending your time with us. And one last thing, a small message to our KTV Indias who are willing to go for a solo trip. So.
Okay, so before concluding, I should thank KTV and in particular Shivkumar sir. And also Varsha, so being a student, and also so I'm happy to see you growing, and also the entire crew of your KTV. Okay, for so making me to be here and talk something about my experiences, sharing with the people, all these stuff. Thank you so much for that.
Our pleasure, sir.
So when it comes to my message to people, okay, so I would say that travel as much as possible, and in particular, don't think about money. I always believe in one thing: money comes tomorrow. Of course, you can gain however the way you want, but then the age will not come back to you. I always believe in that. So travel as much as possible. Okay, don't think about saving money and okay, so be young, have a good time. Always.
Thank you so much, sir. The takeaway I am taking from this interview is do whatever you love before the times get over. So that was Sachin sir with me on KATV India, and I'm your host Varsha. Will bring more such contents to you. Stay tuned with KATV India.